Surviving a submission move in the WWE requires a lot of strength, stamina, and will to go on. There are some superstars who have never submitted in a match, and others who have fought a submission move so long that they eventually passed out. Check out these incredible past and present superstars and witness their feats of strength in the WWE ring. 10 WWE wrestlers who refuse to tap out. Before you do watch, tap subscribe. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new content. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt may have the whole world in his hands, but he rarely uses those hands to tap out in the WWE. Channeling some type of magic from Sister Abigail, Wyatt has been able to withstand all types of submission maneuvers. It makes sense because the guy loves all things dark and evil. A submission move isn't nearly as bad as the horrors that can be found on the Wyatt family compound. The only time that Wyatt tapped out was during his training days back in NXT. He faced off against Jericho in a main event match that ended with the Walls of Jericho. After he debuted on the main roster, Wyatt has not submitted and can constantly worm his way out of submission maneuvers. This has helped build up the credibility of the character and eventually allowed him to win the WWE Championship in early 2017. After matches like a House of Horrors match or a Hell in a Cell, a sleeper hold doesn't seem so bad. As for his own finishing moves, Wyatt doesn't use many, but he has been seen using the kneeling shoulder claw on opponents like Daniel Bryan. Now part of the Raw brand, Wyatt will have to escape the clutches of superstars like Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. Bret Hart. Bret Hart is known for one of the greatest submission moves of all time, but it was extremely rare to see Hart on the opposite side of the spectrum. Hart has won a countless number of matches by applying the sharpshooter and putting pressure on the backs of his opponents. It's probably hard for Hart to understand what it's like on the other side of the sharpshooter because he rarely tapped out. During a Raw match against Ken Shamrock, Hart tapped, but it was while the referee was knocked out, so it never really counted. One of the most infamous times when Hart wouldn't tap out occurred at the 1997 Survivor Series. This is where the incident known as the Montreal Screwjob took place. During the heated match against Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart was placed in his own sharpshooter by Michaels. Before Hart could reverse the move, Vince McMahon ordered that the bell needed to get rung and Michaels was declared the winner. Replays clearly showed that Hart never tapped out, and he was screwed out of the title. He left the WWE without a submission loss, and that is just one of the reasons why he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. Sheamus. A multi-time WWE champion, Sheamus has already had a pretty long career in the WWE. He has used his giant Irish frame to deliver big boots, crazy power bombs, and his cloverleaf submission move. Sheamus has had his ups and downs on the WWE roster, but through it all, the Irish Warrior has never submitted. He has had plenty of chances to tap out, but constantly gets to the ropes, powers through the submission move, or finds another clever way of escaping. One of his toughest opponents has been John Cena, and Sheamus has been on the receiving end of his STF submission move several times. Despite John Cena's unstoppable strength, Sheamus has reached the ropes or been able to reverse the move. He has also been locked into Daniel Bryan's Yes Lock dozens of times throughout their on and off feuds through the years. Never once did Sheamus tap out. This has helped him win multiple titles, including a recent Tag Team Championship win with Cesaro. Whether you love him or hate him, you have to appreciate the grit and determination that Sheamus has when it comes to submission maneuvers. The Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior debuted in the WWE as an unstoppable machine. He tore his way through the WWE roster until he easily won the Intercontinental Championship from the Honky Tonk Man at the 1988 SummerSlam. Things only got better from there, as the Ultimate Warrior took out opponents like Rick Rude, Macho Man Randy Savage, and even Andre the Giant. Through his unstoppable run, the Ultimate Warrior was rarely pinned, and he would never submit during a match. Opponents often placed him in submission moves, but they were merely done so that the Ultimate Warrior could showcase his feats of strength against opponents. The closest the Ultimate Warrior ever came to submitting in a match was at the 1991 Royal Rumble against Sergeant Slaughter. As the Ultimate Warrior defended his WWE Championship against Slaughter, he had to endure the painful Cobra Clutch for an extended amount of time. The Warrior never quit, got his feet under the ropes, and the match continued. Other superstars like Hercules and Dino Bravo would try submission moves on the Ultimate Warrior to no avail. He was truly a warrior that would never quit, no matter how intense a battle got. Goldberg. When Goldberg started his undefeated streak in WCW, fans were eagerly awaiting the first time that the star got pinned, and never even considered the fact that he may actually tap out. Goldberg was a human wrecking ball in the ring, and that persona helped create a superstar that would never give up. During his time in WCW, Goldberg faced off against submission specialists like Sting and Bret Hart. He never let them get the best of him and would constantly find a way to get out of the submission move. After Goldberg joined the WWE, his first challenge was The Rock and his version of the Sharpshooter. Right out of the gate, Goldberg proved his dominance when it came to escaping finishing maneuvers. Not only was he able to handily get out of the Sharpshooter, but he went on to defeat The Rock and other WWE submission specialists like Chris Jericho. For Goldberg's 2016 return to the WWE ring, the superstar was so dominant that no one even had a chance of locking a submission move on him. His matches lasted less than 10 minutes each, and Goldberg showcased why he is one of the top performers of all time. Don't tap out on us yet. Grab the ropes, take a breather, and try to answer this trivia question. There's one surprising person who didn't make the list: John Cena. Can you name the WWE superstar who has made Cena tap out twice? Stay tuned for the answer at the end. The Undertaker. The Undertaker has been through it all during his WWE career. This includes casket matches, buried alive matches, inferno matches, Hell in a Cell matches, and an incredible run of undefeated matches at WrestleMania. This is why submission moves are typically a breeze for the dead man. So many superstars have tried to choke out The Undertaker, but to no avail. One of the closest to ever do it was Kurt Angle. During an episode of SmackDown, Kurt Angle took on The Undertaker in a one-on-one encounter. Just like many of their classic battles, this was a back-and-forth encounter that showcased the best of both men. Kurt Angle locked in a triangle choke on The Undertaker, but the dead man was able to fight the move long enough to pin Angle's shoulders on the mat to get a 3 count. Just as the ref counted to 3, The Undertaker tapped, but the pinfall came first. Another time that The Undertaker refused to tap was at the 1996 King of the Ring. Mankind locked in the mandible claw on The Undertaker and kept it held for several minutes. The Undertaker refused to tap out and only lost when he completely passed out. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has been an unstoppable force ever since he debuted with the Shield. While Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins have tapped out to opponents, Reigns remained protected and never actually tapped out in a match. In fact, the list is very small of people who have pinned the star cleanly in the ring for a win. Even if they did, it was usually under specific circumstances like an interference or when Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania 31. Reigns is a wrestler that has long relied on his power and stamina in the ring to get through matches. One of his longtime rivals has been the Bulgarian brute named Rusev. Rusev's signature submission move is a modified camel clutch known as the Accolade. Roman Reigns has been locked in this move on numerous occasions, including over a set of steel steps and inside a steel cage. Each and every time, Reigns has not tapped out, either choosing to pass out or finding a way to escape instead. As Reigns' dominance continues on WWE Raw, he will continue to power out of submission moves from new opponents like Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar. Yokozuna. As Yokozuna rose through the ranks of the WWE, getting the giant wrestler to submit in a match was the furthest thought that anyone had. No one on the roster could even body slam or pin the man for several months back in 1993 and 1994. Things started looking a little more realistic when Bret Hart entered the picture. Hart was able to turn the massive man over and execute his sharpshooter on multiple occasions. The only problem was that he was never able to get Yokozuna to tap. The only time that Yokozuna even came close to tapping was at WrestleMania 9. Bret Hart was defending his title against the Beast and had the sharpshooter locked in. Moments before Yokozuna was about to give up, Mr. Fuji threw salt into Hart's eyes and forced him to break the hold. Yokozuna remained submission-free on his record, and it would stay that way for his remaining years in the company. Towards the later years of his WWE career, Yokozuna actually started teaming with Hart's brother Owen, and submission moves are part of what helped the pair win the WWE Tag Team Championship. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold is one of the toughest wrestlers to ever step foot in the ring. He never backed down from a challenge, would go toe-to-toe with superstars, and it would take a lot to keep him down. In the rare occasions where Austin did submit, it was under technicalities like his arms or feet under the ropes. To see how much grit and determination Austin had, you simply need to look at his submission match against Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. Austin actually entered the match as a heel, but thousands of fans were cheering for him by the end of the night. In the middle of the violent match, Austin was busted open and had blood pouring from his forehead. All the pressure rushed to his head as Hart locked in his sharpshooter. Austin screamed in pain and the blood dripped down. but he would not submit. Multiple minutes later, special guest referee Ken Shamrock was forced to ring the bell after Austin passed out. This helped start the rise of Stone Cold Steve Austin and showcased his never-quit attitude that helped lead to multiple WWE championships and a huge run in the WrestleMania main event scene. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has been built up as an unstoppable force ever since he returned to the WWE in 2012. During that time, Lesnar has dominated superstars like John Cena, Triple H, Dean Ambrose, The Big Show, and finally got a huge win over Goldberg at WrestleMania 33. One of his biggest wins has to be at WrestleMania 30, where Lesnar shockingly ended The Undertaker's undefeated streak. The Undertaker would not go down easy though, and sought retribution at the 2015 SummerSlam pay-per-view. During Brock's dominant run, it's been nearly impossible for superstars like CM Punk and John Cena to get Lesnar to tap in their signature finishing moves. This didn't stop The Undertaker from locking in his Hell's Gate finisher on Lesnar right after delivering a low blow. The Undertaker held the move in tight, but Lesnar kept trying to fight it off. Lesnar refused to quit, and eventually the move was locked in so long that he passed out. The Undertaker may have gotten the victory, but it didn't feel like a true win as Lesnar managed to survive and fight on another day. The two eventually settled their feud in a Hell in a Cell match where Lesnar was deemed victorious over his opponent. Thanks for watching. Now let's see if you can break out of our trivia submission hold with the quiz answer. John Cena actually tapped out to Kurt Angle twice, once during an episode of SmackDown and another time during a triple threat match at the 2004 No Way Out pay-per-view. So there you have it. Which superstar is the most impressive at escaping submission moves? Who do you think will tap out next? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the Sportster on YouTube so you can stay up to date with our awesome videos. See ya!